And we should be live. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Subway Surfer. We're currently Saturday, and as we like to do on Saturday, we work on our little Infinite Runner game. So last week we had something similar to this, and I read a lot of comment this week about how the water was inverted. That's totally true. I see it now. I couldn't see it last time because I was getting a little bit confused, but yeah, we gotta reverse the water, that's for sure. We were able to jump as well, so that's weird, but we still were able to do it. We don't have any collision on these things, so we'll have to add that very, very soon. But today, I have a very short time. Actually, I'm waiting on somebody to come here help me with some stuff. So what I felt like doing today, since we don't have as much time as we usually do, is I'd like to just create the shader that bends the world. Now on Discord, somebody actually sent us a shader that does that, so we could be using his shader, but I'd like us to actually understand how it works a little bit. Also note that this week we're going to have some shader tutorial coming to the channel. So I'll quickly just pull up the chat because I haven't done that. And just say hello to everybody. So guys, what is going on this wonderful Saturday? I am drinking, as usual, the the hot chocolate. I've totally dropped coffee, so I'm on hot chocolate now, and I'm using chopsticks to mix it up. That's what Asia does to you. Hey, happy Saturday. Here is Saturday night. I've gotta let you know on something though, guys. This afternoon we're also gonna have a stream. So later on we're gonna have a stream, most likely about Subway Surfer. And if we are tired of that, we can move on to the Fun Day Sunday, where we do some other stuff. All right. So I want to get started right away making the shader. So I'll actually create a new. Should we create a new script? Yeah, let's actually create a new folder for this, and I'll just fix this thing. There we go. I'll create a new folder called shader, and then we'll create a unlit shader. Let's call it Ben, or this should actually be a post effect. So let's use Ben world post effect. Why don't you use the water from the standard shader? Because it's not going to fit our style. It's not going to fit our art style at all. So I'd like to actually just go and use our own water. Don't you think it look good? I think it looks good, kind of. Not really, but at least we tried. Oh, also I gotta go change the name of that. So Subway Surfer continuation. We're on Subway Surfer bending the world. Here we go. Nice. Am I providing the asset? Yes, I will be providing the asset as soon as we are done with the first part of the tutorial, which I believe is going to be in a week or two maximum. So we're getting there. All right. So there's going to be a lot of Googling involved today since we're going to be writing shaders. What I want to do right here is I actually want to put a post effect on everything. So we're going to be taking the whole picture of this, like what we see right here. We're going to be taking that as a screenshot. You just forget about the UI. And then we want to be bending these using the post effects. If I remember correctly how to bend the world, people actually don't do it that way. They do it on object basis. So let me just open up Discord real quick. I'm gonna have a look at the other shader that our friend sent us. Okay, so that shader is a surface shader. Actually going to have a look at it right here, and he named it Subway Surfer Test. Okay. We'll actually find out which one we like the best. Is it going to be a post effect? Is it going to be a normal shader that we put on the objects. So shader Pika Pika, which is the Pikabot shader, the guy on Discord. I'll put it in a folder called tests, and let's call it band world. So a lot of things are going on in here. We have the main texture, the Q offset. I'm not sure what Q offset is going to be for. I'll just quickly reformat this so we can read it properly. We only use UV. That's weird, actually. I'm curious to see how this works. So let's go in the game and actually apply it to an object. Oh, we do have a problem right here. So Z off. What is this? Some issue with copy paste. Oh yeah, Admiral, it actually uploads to YouTube, which is a double-edged sword for me. Can the boat slide? It can't slide yet. We'll find a way to make it slide, obviously. Boat can slide. Okay, let's actually apply the shader. So it's under tests and band world. So we do have some kind of weird graphical problem with this. Let's actually change the offset. Oops. Or maybe not the offset, but distance. How about that? I still can't get it to work properly, and that's probably because I just don't know how to use it, like use the shader. But we do have some weird, very weird effect. So I think we'll be starting from scratch actually. And what I would usually do, like if I was just like thinking about it right now, what I would do is I would use a depth map and actually try to bend the pixel using the depth map. But then I just realized that if we do that, we're gonna have like some kind of blank spot at the top, and we only have 4 pixels when we do with the depth map, when we do with post effects, because we only have like 1 plane in the end, so that's not gonna work. How could we go and bend this then? Hey Michael, what's up? Shambash, what's up, what's up? Let's actually have a look. Oh, this is the one I wanted to do. So basically, I don't know if you guys have played this before, but this game, really fun game. Played that on the Nintendo GameCube back in the days. It's like on other platform now, but it's basically a world that keeps on bending on the toilet paper. So it's actually quite amazing. And did they just put the shader right here? I think they just put the shader. Let's actually grab that. Let's steal this. Amazing. And have a look if we can actually tweak it. So custom curved world, that's the name of it. 2 planes, one on top of another. No, that's not gonna work, unfortunately. Custom curved world. Okay, so it gives us a really good start, and we can go ahead and tweak it if we want to. So there's also a curvature. This is actually quite cool. I don't even have to do anything. Hey, we're discovering stuff today. Let's try it in the game. So obviously, all the objects that use this have to be using the same shader, which is one of our biggest problem, to be honest. But if we were to go here, actually put the first atlas on custom curved world and give it the same curvature, which was, I believe, 0.02, then we would get the same effect. And that's actually it. It's really boring. It's really boring that it already works. But let's have a look at the shader. We'd like to understand it a little bit better, right? Because it's a little, just taking it from the internet makes me feel bad. We have to understand it. Let's clean it up. Oh, he also put comments. How cool. He puts a lot of comment. That's actually quite good. I'll actually send the link. If you guys want to actually copy it, I'll send the link over on YouTube right now, but it's also on Discord. It's gonna be in the. We don't really have a channel for Subway Surfer. Let's make one. Here we go. So we're bending the world right away, and that was too easy. That was too easy, guys. I don't like this. We have a fallback on diffuse. Let's leave that actually. Oh, for us, it's actually mobile diffuse. Alright, so there is two things usually in there. The surface shader is going to be changing the color, only the color of the pixel. So in this case, we're only setting the color of the texture. That's totally normal. We could be playing with the color a little bit like here, or the alpha, I guess I could say 0.5, and make everything almost invisible, I guess. Is that gonna work? That's not gonna work. I don't know if it's actually using big values like that. What about this here? Okay, so this is actually playing with the colors, and this one is playing with the bending of the vertex. So first line right here, we get the world space. So just assume that this is like a vector 3 with the world space of your pixel, every single pixel we have. Right now, I guess we're using Unity plane, so there is quite a few. Are we using a Unity plane? Yeah, that's a Unity plane. So basically, there is quite a few in here. If we were just using like a plane that has 4 vertex, we would not be able to achieve that kind of result. You can tell we're using something with a lot of vertex. If we bend a little bit more, you're going to be able to see. We have one here, one there. So Unity plane is good for bending because it has a lot of separations in it. Now if we keep on going, adjust the, okay, so we're getting another coordinates. We're changing our vector based on the world position, and then reduce the y, blah blah blah. We're taking distance in between the camera and that pixel, and then applying it a y modifier. Okay, everything makes sense. But you should wait on my tutorial this week if you want to understand a little bit better what we do here. But anyway, guys, we have our shader. It's actually not bending this thing yet, so that's a problem. Actually, it is bending the boat. Yeah, it's actually bending the boat. Quite good. Let's actually play this a little bit. Yeah, it does feel infinite. Maybe if I just pull this a little bit backward. I don't know if that's too big. That's definitely too big for the player. It looks weird. What looks weird? I'm a little bit curious. Except the shadow. The shadows are like awful, but that we can work with later on. Shouldn't the wave go the other way? Yes, the wave should go on the other way. Alright, I gotta remember where we actually modified that. I think it's in the level manager. And we said water speed in Y is actually gonna be minus. That's not even working. Oh, it is working. Okay, my bad. So, minus 0.015. Did you hear about Game Maker Studio GMX? I don't know about these guys. I bet they're super cool. Alright, let's start putting some win condition in here. I know we don't really have any good spawning mechanics. We're not really spawning prefab. We're not despawning them. That's also another big problem. But I'd like to actually start working on win and loss, some basic conditions. Now, if we head over to the prefab, or sorry, to the gym scene, we should be able to see our prefab we made earlier. So we have sets, which is you know, what we spawn. Right now we have an empty set that is 10 meter. We don't need to do anything with that. We have the obstacle left and right, and they are like 5 meters in length. What if I add a box collider on those? Okay, so it's kind of accurate, but it's not really the best. I think we're gonna have to rework these. Also, you gotta understand that we can actually jump, so we gotta make sure that if this obstacle is not jumpable, which this one is, make it fit. So something like this could work. And those sticks, I believe we're gonna have to change it on the prefab. That would be a little bit better. So if I head over to sticks, drag it in here, we're going to apply our box slider to the whole object. Maybe that's 2 meter in height. That's a little bit more. Yeah, that's a little bit more than 2 meters. Let's go with 2.5. Okay, so that'll do the job. We can then hit apply, and it's going to be transferred over to the other sticks, technically. And I lied, they're not transferred at all. Oh, it's because they're part of another prefab. I'll actually get rid of those. Drag some sticks, move them to 0, 0, 0, and then under the obstacle left, right. Put it back to where it was, so 3 and minus 3. And here we go. Cool. We have some basic collider in here. YouTube night mode isn't working. I've never actually used that. Unity versus Engine, Unreal Engine, which one is better? I like Unity better because I feel like it's so much cleaner when you start off versus Unreal. You already have some stuff made for you. You have to extend some, if you want to code for Unreal, you have to extend some classes. I don't really like that. I mean, we do the same exact thing in Unity, it's just, it's more hidden. And I feel like I'm starting off clean every time I make a new Unity project. But definitely Unreal has some better, you can make it look good super fast in Unreal versus in Unity. It takes a while before you can make it look good. For beginners though, I definitely recommend using Unity, and the only reason is because you're going to be using C# over C++. You're not going to run into much problem by using C#. But if you try using C++ right away, it's actually going to look quite grim for you. Try using some mesh collider. I actually don't want to use some mesh collider. I mean, box does the shape just fine, and mesh is really expensive, especially for all the little the little vertex we put in here. And those shapes are not really convex. Well, I mean, this one is not convex, so it's gonna be even more expensive. What time is it in Canada? Right now I'm on East Coast, so it's 9:35 in the morning. I usually don't stream that early, but I have to bounce quite soon. I'm gonna be coming back later tonight, though. Today I just wanted to make the world shader, which took like a second. I was expecting to like take a lot more time, but we found something that worked for us. Too fast. Now we're working on making these obstacle have colliders. So we only have one right now, but that's what we're going to be testing with. Let's actually hit apply so we can save, and now I'll head back in the game and let's see what happens if I run into one. Do we get any glitches? We do get some glitches, so that is totally perfect. Now obviously our player is going to try and reposition itself on the lane because that's his behavior, but we can go and actually work with that. So we have a couple of options. um, we have like few collision check to do. So is the player entering collision with an object, or is the object entering collision with the player? The way I like to do it is the player is gonna be the one that enters collision and then detects if he should die, or if he should like have a power up, if he should get some coin, that kind of stuff. The player should be the one holding that knowledge. The reason is quite simple. Just assume you're playing something like Super Mario. You have 100 coins in the scene. Well, do you really want to run a loop every frame to check, like on every single coin, is the player touching me basically? You don't want to have that mechanic on the actual coins. You want to have it on the player. So the player is going to tell the coin that it actually touched it. And if it did, then collect stuff. But all of that is going to be done inside of the player. So right now I'm in the player mode. I'm actually going to use the callback, the private void on controller collider hit. Here it is. Amazing. I remember. Let's do a quick debug.log to see what's inside of here. So it.name, it.transform.name then. And we should run into the plane beneath us all the time. Oh, I'm actually hiding the debug.log. I'm also getting this one, which is quite annoying. Let's get rid of it. So we're hitting the plane on the floor. Now if we actually move towards this side, we should get a new one if I hit collapse. Not even. That is weird. So we didn't even enter a collision with this. How come? Like, we need something to be super reliable this time, because I remember in the other Infinite Runner we've did on the channel, it wasn't really reliable and it wasn't really enjoyable because of that. So we did manage to get it, but I had to force it quite a lot. So that's definitely not something we want to do. Is it only because I was on the other side? Okay, so I get it. I only got it once. It has to be more reliable than that. Okay, so I get it. The reason we're getting this, and the reason we're getting this is because we're moving the world and we're not moving the player. The player has to move for us to be able to detect that kind of collision. So what I feel like doing is, how can we go and do this? No matter what, we have to call a controller.move every frame, which we are doing, but still not enough. Oh, I thought I muted myself. Sorry for that. I actually thought I muted myself. It's really like the sun just started coming out here in Quebec, so we're getting some bad allergies. And yeah, that was me sneezing. Very sorry for that. Okay, let's keep looking at the comments a little bit. So let's see. Night from Indonesia. We're gonna be back live later on this afternoon. So when is the multiplayer series start? We're still on hold for that. Like I could show you the result we have right now, but it's not enough to make a tutorial about it. We have a lobby system going on. That's pretty much it at the moment. This is a nice game. Is it a nice game? Not yet. It's gonna be eventually. But hey, thank you for the comment. I can make a runner under order contact. Well, that's cool, but go advertise somewhere else. Done with the curve shader? Yeah, we actually didn't really do it, to be honest. We just grabbed it off this website actually. This is a game that I googled this morning because it's one of my favorite game from childhood, and it had this toilet paper kind of effect. where the whole world will be on a toilet paper. And I really enjoy this. Turns out the shader is right there. We stole it. Quality right there. And do you know how to make a Steam multiplayer game? If you were to do a Steam multiplayer game, I wouldn't do it with Photon because you're gonna have to pay a lot of money to scale up with Photon. Hey, Polly, how you doing, man? Do we need anything done for this? Just more obstacle would be great, but I mean, it's not like the ultimate focus right now, but like more obstacle. We have barrels that I didn't input. We have rocks. Could also put that in here. There's a couple things we could use. But at the moment, I think we're Gucci though. We are super Gucci. Alright, let's try to figure out why we can't actually enter collision. Actually, we know why. It's because we're not moving the player. Now, how do we go about moving this player without causing a mess? In the best case scenario, I would move it. Like, I could actually do something quite bad. Let's try our stupid patch right here. So we'll do a transform that forward, and then I'll move it back in time. If I do this and it works, and I don't fix it in the end, please make sure to let me know. What you should be using instead of using Photon if you're doing multiplayer, well, I would definitely just go ahead and use the Unity one. If you're not like comfy enough to use the Unity one, just use the high level Unity multiplayer. So that's the one with all these components, so network, lobby, blah blah blah. All of these, you can find a really good tutorial online. I think there's like a tank tutorial, so I'll just look it up for you real quick. Oh, there it is, I found it. So if you don't know how to use the high level one, I recommend you look this up real quick. It's in the chat, and by chat I mean the YouTube chat. It's gonna teach you how to make a little tank game, and it's almost only using components. You don't even have to code that much, which is what turned me down, but if it actually helps you, good for you. Okay, so we did get the proper collision stuff going on, but obviously we're gonna be putting a double $sign right here, and that means that's my personal code for you gotta be changing this before you publish. Right now we only have one. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's leave that here. What we do is that we move forward and then we move our player backward, but that's only to detect the collision. We wouldn't have this problem if we decided to move the player, but in this case we decided to move the world. How about some object that can morph into other objects? So it's not so it's only one model. I don't really get what you're saying, Polly, but that sounds like a superhero stuff right there. I like. You're waiting for the WebGL WebSocket? Oh yeah, that's definitely what I'm working on the side. Actually, I'd like to show you, but I broke it last night while I was working on it. Usually when people use to-do lists, I'm a hipster, so I'm putting some $sign at places. Hey, you see how easy this is? If I was like ready to publish at the end, I'm like, yo, I gotta go fix my duct tape. I just do Control-Shift-F, double $sign, and they're like, oh, you gotta fix this. Abandon the ship. Alright, let's go back here a little bit. We get the proper collision this time, but we don't have any losing. Actually, we don't really have any flow. I mean, we can't really even press pause if we wanted to. So I'm going to start laying down the basic flow of the game. It's something quite boring to do, I'll be honest. And I'll do it in the game scene, I believe. So we have a start game, a turn on, turn off menu, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be wrapping all the menu stuff into a region. Menu, boring stuff. Or boring menu stuff. I gotta learn how to English a little bit better. Have you ever ported any game to Xbox? I did, only once, and it was really awful. Had a really, really bad time. The game I ported was with the group. Well, actually, we actually, I didn't do it myself. I was with Ubisoft back then, but we ported over Black Flag, the Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and it was, well, I mean, every time you port a game, it's not gonna be fun because you have to deal with the company that well, not publish it, but that runs the console. So you have to deal with Microsoft and their terms. You have to fill some terms before you can actually publish on Xbox. So that's not like that wasn't so bad now that I think about it. Next to what Sony asked, Sony is a lot more picky, and their device runs in such a different manner. So we have a lot of glitch that we didn't have on Xbox. But basically, yeah, I did, and it's awful. Okay, so we're done with the boring money stuff. Let's have the public. We have to make this public because we're going to be calling it from outside. Do we also have a singleton right here? We don't, so we'll have to add one at the end. Public void. Crash. Are both crash into something? No, let's do an end game right here. So end game. And also let's do a public void. So we have a start game, we have an end game, we have a pause maybe. We want to be using the pause. It's gonna be some menu stuff, I believe. So boring menu stuff. Boom. Public void. Enter pause menu. Public void. Exit pause menu. You can't even make a character in 2D that can move. We can help you with that quite soon. The shader works perfect for you? That's amazing. Are you talking about the shader you sent me or the shader of Animal Crossing? Polly says, like an object that has several morph target. I did with the other thing I was working on. You only have one model and can call different shapes, so rock cubes, and you can blend in between them. I'm actually curious to see how you blend in between them. Is it like using some kind of rigging technique or using animations? I'm really curious about this, to be honest. German says, I like to use / to do instead. Hey, you do you, man. I'll do my double money sign. Block Geeks, really happy that it will help you. I miss programming with Unity. It's never, I mean, just go back to Unity. You now program PHP. Yeah, it's it's a whole different world when you go into web because you don't really have any way to debug yourself, and it's, I mean, you do, but you don't have any auto completion, so you're like coding super slow, and it's not as fun. So is it possible to use Steam multiplayer service since I'm publishing on Steam? Of course, plus you have to do it. Like if you're gonna have like any interaction between players, you have to use their system, which is gonna fit perfectly on top of yours if you're using Unity. And you also have to create some other like stuff to satisfy their needs. You're gonna have to create achievement. You're gonna have to create some metadata for it. That's just standard stuff. Okay, Polly, so you said it is, the morpher is actually coming from script. Okay, I'm curious to see how it actually acts in the game. If you decide to morph it, like, in front of you, if you have like a rock and you tell that rock become a barrel, how is it actually going to morph? Do you just want it to pop, like change to the other model, or is it actually going to try and morph it over time? That'd be cool. How many program language do I know? It actually went up quite a lot recently because I had to pick up some stuff for a job, but I know C Sharp, I know C++, I know PHP, I know Rails, Ruby on Rails. I know JavaScript, TypeScript, and Node.js, I guess, which are still JavaScript, but A little bit different. I know HTML, CSS. I really hate doing HTML and CSS. I puke every time. And I think that's actually it. I know assembly just a little bit, just enough to get my way around some softwares that I need to crack. Okay, so let's quickly go back to endgame. I'm actually not going to put endgame in here. Well, the whole crashing mechanic is not going to be in here. Instead, here it's going to be something like, right now we're going to be super boring. Do a Unity engine dot scene management. We're going to reload the scene. So load scene, we're loading game again. That's temporary, of course, before we can get some animation here. Again, double $. You got this right. And Hi Polly, I'm actually I actually like to see that script. If you can send it over my way, either on Discord or any links you want, I'd like to see how we can actually work with that. What am I drinking? I'm drinking hot chocolate because I totally dropped coffee. And the thing you see in it are chopsticks, because that's what living in Asia does to you. So endgame is here, that's fine. I want to be calling it from my player, so my player is going to know when he crashes. That's what we said earlier, so let's go under player mode. And we'll have private void crash. Now, I don't know like how many lives we're gonna have. Like, is it possible to crash once and then keep on going? In Subway Surfer it is, so definitely do something about that here. Let's assume that we don't really have a hit point something. Okay, so I'm going to be creating at the top here a private ant hit point. And I know we're not working with hit point in Subway Surfer. We're actually working with distance, and if you hit the wall twice super fast, you're gonna die. It's a little bit more complex than that, but hit point. I'll actually be using hit point for now. And we'll go with let's say 1. We'll go with 1 hit point. That's actually gonna be the distance. So I'll go with a float hit point 1. If hit point is smaller than 0, then we end the game. So to end the game, we have to do game scene dot instance, which we don't have, dot end game, like this. Now every time we crash, we're gonna reduce a little bit of the hit point. So minus equals, say, 0.1f. So we have to crash 10 times to get killed, but this is going to be called multiple times the frame if you're stuck on the object, which should give you, if you're fast enough, even though you're crashing in the object, it should give you a little bit of time to like deviate and go back on track, like on the real Subway Surfer. And eventually we'll have to recover from this, so I'm going to go in the update. And up here, recover hit point, which is going to be a function that we'll make in a second, of course. Alright, so if hit point is smaller than 1, that means we have we're not like fully healed. Let's do hit point plus equal a really small ratio. Smaller than that actually, so we can start recovering little by little. Really sorry, allergy has me crazy these days. Do you need to buy green light to do this? You don't actually buy green light, you earn green light. Maybe he's doing a super complex vertex animation. That would be amazing. That's actually what I'm expecting. Well, I'm hoping to see, not expecting. Have you GF? I don't know. And do you know any tutorial on how to use Steam multiplayer service? I actually don't have any tutorial for Steam multiplayer service. I never actually did it. myself. I only hear about it all the time. Okay, so using a skin mesh renderer, that's cool. Alright, let's quickly go back to this and actually fix this before I have to bounce. Here we needed to have a static instance. We'll do a public static game scene instance. Again, let's put that as a setGet. And in a private void awake, I'll actually be calling it instance is equal to this. Now if I quickly go back in the player, we have to actually put this thing right here. We have to put a switch condition on a tag. We could be using a tag. We could be let's actually use a tag. So hit dot tag. Okay, so hit the game object dot tag. If that is equal to object, is that gonna work? Obstacle. I hope I wrote that right. Okay, so you're doing a public skin mesh renderer and then a morph set blend shape white. Wait. Okay, I see it works now. I actually never used it, so we might actually want to go give it a look like super fast. I don't think we're going to be using it for this very specific game, and it's something that I will definitely be using somewhere. Can you publish free game on Steam? No, but you can create your pages. Actually, yeah, you can publish free game on Steam, but it has to be approved. But you can create pages. Like one of my students actually created one page for his game. I have to find it. I'll actually poke him on Facebook. If he answers, I'll show you. But if he doesn't answer, it's gonna be a little bit sad. Alright. Okay, so if the tag is up, actually that's not how we do a switch. We're gonna switch on the tag, and now if that switch case is obstacle, then we're going to crash. So crash. Then we break. That's all we need right now because we don't really have anything else. Okay, that's weird. So we do a minus equal on this, and then endgame. Endgame is being called. What's going on in endgame? We're doing a load scene. Okay. Oh, we don't have any tags on those objects. That's why. My bad. So I'll head back into prefab. Go back. Just drop a stick anywhere. That stick needs to have our obstacle tag. There it is. Go back on the stick. Let's actually set that, hit apply, so every other prefab has it. And I'll quickly make sure that these one also have it. So they both have obstacle. Let's hit apply again, and we should now be able to die. We don't really die, we just restart the game at the moment. The boring part. We're also going to turn off the shadows. And there it is. That's like the simple stuff. We have like enough time to move away from it. So just like in the real Subway Surfer game, you'll have like a little bit of time to move, but if you stay in it for too long, you're gonna die. If I just bump into it like this, yeah, you gotta be fast. You gotta be fast. Like, good thing with these game is you can see what's coming to you, so it's not like something super reactive until it goes super fast. Okay, so that's gonna work. Of course, as far as we're concerned right now, that's gonna work. Later on, we can keep on tweaking these little stats to make it better. Now I need to turn off the shadow of this thing. How do we go and turn off the shadow of these? We can turn off the receive shadow, and we can also, yeah, let's just turn off the receive shadow and the cast shadow. There we go. So our game is going to be a lot more optimal that way. I've done that on the mesh of the player, but we also have to do it on a lot of other places, especially the prefabs. So again, I'm back in the sticks. Let's go into the sticks. Make sure we turn off the cast shadow like this and hit apply. I don't know if it's actually going to apply to the prefab as well. And nope, so these ones still have shadow. Let's take the meshes, cast shadow to off, receive shadow also on off. Okay, cool. Now what about the light? Oh, it actually looks good. That's, well, I mean, doesn't look that good, but it looks better. So I'll be using this and I'll be pointing it almost downward, just like this. Yeah, I like that. We have to play with the skybox later on. Like maybe like go with the default skybox, not the default, sorry, but the one we like to use in a lot of tutorial. I don't remember the name. It's like the free cartoony, free fantasy skybox are pretty cool. Unfortunately, we can't really use anything from the asset store right now, but I'll just show it to you if you want to use it. I'll delete it right away, but these one are like, that's my favorite skybox. Whenever I want something free that is super fast and just show, like, that's usually what I go with. So what you want to be taking in this, there's like a lot of stuff. You want to get rid of this, you want to get rid of that. You only want the skybox, so not the demo. You just want to have the material and also the texture. Might want to keep the presets. Oh, I missed a lot of comments, so let's have a look. Are you doing a job? Or yes, I am working in the week. Right now we're on the weekend, so we're making games. Why don't you join a teens place and do games with those people? I actually applied. I applied and I'm like, I didn't get like a good feedback out of it. But I'm hoping that one day they'll reconsider, I guess. I'd really love to, but they don't really need any games to be done. Like, what's the point of making games when you're trying to save the world? I know it has some impact because you can like inspire people to do the same thing. It's just, it's not like, it's not a simple thing to do by yourself either. But I'd definitely be down to just go there and eat broccoli, hang out, that kind of stuff. Hey Rahul, thanks for tuning in, man. I know you have to go. You can't stay here for long, but it's, I enjoy every second you put into watching this stream. Thank you so much. Hey, what's going on, Game Over? Polly, you use your morphing shader for a lot of worlds you had. Okay. Can be random shape, kind of cool. I want to go test it out right now, to be honest. Can I post the project files after on stream? I can't actually do that with this one, but I'm going to be posting all the assets we're going to be using in about 1 week or 2. Would you work for Sega, Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft? I would not work for any of those. Maybe Nintendo because they're chill and it's in Tokyo. I love that. But I don't want to work for Sony or Microsoft and not Sega. The ship needs cannon. I totally agree with that. And a little monkey running up the mast. There's a lot of things that needs to be done. They have about 6 people doing games in Unity. Are you like serious? I have to go look that up. And if they are like really doing that, well, I'm moving to Germany. I'll have a look at this after the stream today. I saw they posted one game at one point, but it was really bad. It was just like a troll. Okay, so real quick, we have some basic collision going. We have some basic like loss detection going on, and also don't worry about the lights here, just because the lights aren't really baked. but I'd like to go try out Polyscript, so it's gonna be quite fun to look at, to be honest. I'm gonna be heading over to the gym. Let's create a basic script. So create C#. Let's do morph. And now we needed a skin mesh renderer. So let's just call it mesh. And we needed a weight. So JTH, something like that. Let's put it on, I think it's something like 1.1. I'm not sure. Private void. Say update. Mesh.blend. Set blend shape. Okay, so that's gonna be weird. I'm gonna need some of your asset, poly, because I don't know what the index are in this case. I've never worked with blend shape before. This is actually quite interesting. Hey, here's an ad for my favorite fast food, I guess. So feel like they're using blend shape for animation, but hyperlink slider. Okay, so they're using these value to blend some animation. That's actually quite cool. I'll be waiting on your asset, but let's actually try and give it. Well, let's actually give it a try. Wait, and I'll turn this into a public, so I can modify it. How do I stay motivated on making my games? I honestly don't. That would be a lie to say that I completed all project. We still have a lot of project on the line. We still have like a old project that I'm thinking about restarting quite soon, but it's like it's not that easy to stay motivated. The biggest thing that keeps me motivated is just you guys. As cringy as it might sound, it's just you guys, because I have so many projects. Like this one right here. Last time we opened this, it was in 5.3. So that tells you like a little bit how long it has been. Misspell weight, yeah, that's my issue. I can't type weight GHT. I'm inspiring a lot of people. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that. So let's have a look at the other project. That's the one that we should be doing right now. And oh, there's so many problems right now. But this project is actually on the channel. I think it's on episode 70 something. So a lot of episode went into making this project. And I had to redo the art at one point. But I'm really not an artist, and I couldn't get it to I couldn't get my mind to do the art, so it just stopped there. Now I'm getting some advertisement error. I believe that's because I'm not signed in. Could that be it? I'm signed in. What if I had under services? Oh, the ads were turned off for some reason. Okay. Let's turn that on real quick. And oh, you see, that's something that is even worse. Now, when you're trying to get back into a whole project, and all you get is errors that weren't there. It's a little bit annoying. Do more AR game. I'm wishing to do more. Like, I've been invited to the convention this like in 2 weeks. The convention in LA. I just don't have the money to go, but I could have like went with people there. We could have made games, but that thing is too expensive. Just going to LA, I think, is like 450, which isn't that bad for me. But then just getting the ticket to enter the convention was 700 out of nowhere. It's really annoying. Okay, so definitely have some problems right here with the Google Play game stuff. See, that's why I can't get back into making the game. There's so many stuff to fix. But that was our automatic shooter. That was our auto shooter games, basically. You know what? I miss making this game. This game was really fun to do. And oh, by the way, so I don't keep you guys any longer if you don't want to do any of this, like if you don't want to see this, I'm actually going to be calling this a day for the Subway Surfer. I'm going to be coming back tonight, but I have to leave as soon as someone gets here, so I have to make sure that I don't start anything complicated before. So right now we have, like I said, we have the basic loss condition, and this is actually where I'll be ending for today. Not for today, but for right now. And I'll actually just fill in the time a little bit, try to get this thing to work. And if I can, you're going to be able to see what game we should be working on next. Okay, so misspell wait, yep, I fixed that. Keep doing what you're doing, inspiring a lot of people. I'm just rereading comments at this point. Well, first, thank you for that comment. Can you post the project files after on Discord? Not for this one, unfortunately. Like I said, I'm going to be posting the assets, but the files, I have to keep them. I'm actually going to be making, I'll be remaking the Subway Surfer tutorial into a more compact tutorial like I usually do. And then that's going to be posted on the channel, and I need those watch minutes. Polly, you can send me the files over on Discord. How about that? Oops. I really hate the way that Discord just turns into a small bubble every time you double click on it. There we go. Yeah, so you can just post them into the Subway Surfer channel or chill, whatever. We have a bunch of channels now. And so many people, actually. Really cool. If you guys want to have like artist tags or like tags on Discord, just hit me up in the chill. Yeah, you could hit me up in the chill. I'll do it everyone right here. So you can have some nice colors going on. So I can give you colors. Nice. Alright. So, Google Play Games does not implement Interface Member. Yep, it doesn't. I know that. I remember these problems. So does that mean that I'm not connected to all the services? I don't remember if we had any in-app purchase. Well, eventually we're supposed to have in-app purchase. I just don't know if it was enabled at that point. What if we hit import? Okay, that's not it. I'm gonna have to Google that thing. I'm Googling some Google errors. Inception is good. When can we expect the complete tutorial for Subway Surfer? It's gonna be in parts. So like the first part is gonna be all about just getting the scene running and the player running. It's not gonna be about menu or connectivity to say Facebook or other medium. But the first part should be coming out like in maximum a month. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to record. Usually won't take me that long to record. It's just I never really know what's going on at the job these days. We're getting a lot, like, we get a lot of weird projects that I like to invest a lot of time in. Someone says it's in the analytics. Let's actually turn on the analytics. Why not? So Google Play does not implement interface member. Okay, well, I guess we could implement it. Just to get it running, I'll implement it. It has been implemented. No more error, guys. Oh, another one? That's how we fix the problem. My biggest issue is performance. How to know when an asset is too big or will slow your game. It's something you gotta know like almost by heart. Well, first, always try to do something that is super optimal all the time, but I mean, if you're on mobile, never have more than 10,000 vertex in front of you and 50,000 in the whole scene, but that's going like very far. That's very far-fetched. That's for some good devices. 50,000 vertex into a scene, that's like a lot. Like personally, if I was to make a mobile game, I'd like try to stay beneath 10,000. Like 10,000 is again a lot. And in terms of vision, what I see in front of me, I would not go above 5K. So, okay, just checking what file format it wants. Been a while, yeah, yep. Oh, somebody deleted his message before I read it. How do I deal with motivation? Like I said, I'm using you guys for that. Sorry, not sorry. Alright, so I'm getting some more errors. Let's go into the preloader, see if we can get this to work. It says Unity Engine UI has already been imported, but it doesn't give me, like, when I double click on it, it doesn't tell me where. I'm getting some weird, very weird bug. It worked after I restarted my editor. Alright, let's do that. Why not? If every bug could be fixed by restarting your editor, we would be all rich. How does Supercell make his game run so smooth? I don't know if Supercell uses Unity, to be honest. They made Clash of Clans in C++. Yeah, I believe they're actually using something else to make, because Unity has some big overhead when you make your game, so it's really hard to make it like super optimal. How do you make collision in a 2D game? My character keeps falling down. Well, it really depends. Are you using a character controller or a rigid body? Well, in both cases, you're going to be using a 2D collider. So this thing right here, create. Oh, there's no component. Okay, so if you just head over somewhere on your object, that's going to be the floor. Type in collider, and you say box collider 2D, a capsule collider. You can also use a polygon collider. That's going to be mapping like itself to the same exact shape as you have. Might be really expensive if you have a lot of little edges, non-convex shape, that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's the game we were working on, I believe last year. Almost been a year. Right now I cannot connect to Google Play, which is quite normal. We're not on a device. It was the tower, and that was our tower right here. We could reset the save, go under achievement, leaderboard. All that kind of stuff doesn't work because it's using the Google Play services. And again, yeah, so we had the option to go fight by clicking on the table, the war table. Then instead of this, that was some kind of currency. You were changing your rocks for, say, logs, your logs for silk, all that kind of stuff. You would be able to sell and get money for them. What is this? That's some like publicity for me, I guess. This is for research in the game. You could actually research stuff. What is this? That was the... Oh, that was the tower upgrade. So this is like the base of the whole game. You have to upgrade your tower, and then you upgrade the damage it shoots and deal more damage. The range, same stuff. That's the research table. You could research Trademan, which means you get 10% more gold on selling item. That kind of stuff. Let's go into a game. Easy. And then the game would run, and that's basically it. That's all you have to do, like sit here and wait until your tower shoots stuff. And definitely my UI has something wrong with it, but that's what we did last year. I'd love to pick this back up, to be honest. It's not a bad game. Now if we had under currency, that's what we looted this round. Well, actually that's what we have in our inventory. So we have 2 silk. We can sell our 2 silk for 200 gold. Now with our 200 gold, we can buy some more damage. But I think we're gonna get killed soon because we don't have enough speed. Let's see, speed. It's too expensive right now. And then we just go on like that. You can also speed the game up. And that weird glitch you see, that's because my mesh, not my mesh, but my UI is too big. So every time I loot an object, you're gonna see it right here appearing. And the drawing you saw were my really good drawing. Right, we're selling everything. Let's boost the speed. Oh, I got killed. Okay, so I got killed. You can start over again on easy because we don't really have a good tower right now. But hey, that's what we were doing last year. It's a little bit more complex because, we have about 70 episodes. So 70 episodes is a little bit too much if you ask me, but at least we're doing something. Alright, I'm actually going to end this real soon because I just received a text. So I have to bounce and go get some people downstairs. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to be back later on tonight. We're going to be working on the Subway Surfer again. I want to be actually doing the spawning of the object properly. Let's see, so... I'll just pick up your comments real quick. So Nelson asked, when do you believe the first episode will be out for the Subway tutorial? Less than a month. Just less than a month is all I can say right now. I'm trying to program dot and box space game AI. Any idea how to implement alpha beta pruning algorithm? I don't even know what the alpha beta pruning is. I'm gonna be like super honest here. Where did you learn shader programming? I didn't really learn it, to be honest. I just picked up a lot of tutorial on YouTube and tried to make my own. Just blog posts, basically. Yeah, blog posts and YouTube tutorials is where I learned it. You actually like this game? Do you have a playlist for it? Yeah, it's called The Tower, and it has like a lot of episodes. Let me pull it up real quick. It's under, I believe it's under Video Manager. Oh, I have like no shame like showing you the analytics at the same time. If you were curious on how much money I make through YouTube, it's not really that number. That number is too high, to be honest. Since the MCN takes a cut and we don't really get that. But that has been the highest number I've seen like since I started, which is cool. It's around 125 USD a month doing YouTube. Let's see, the tower, where is it at? It's right here. Okay, so 82 videos. Here it is. It has a lot of stuff in it. like a lot of stuff, and it's all the same thumbnail because I was really lazy back then. But yeah, in the end, we published it to Google Play as well. We had the services working. Right now, I don't feel like they're working so much, simply because, I mean, we just booted the game and we had trouble just getting the thing to work. So maybe the services don't work so much as they did back then. But yeah, that's about it. Let's see. Oops. Michael, could you make a 1-hour tutorial on how to make a game like Skywire? Let's see if it's possible to make a game like Skywire. Doo -doo -doo. Okay, so it has like a awesome rail mechanic in it. I'll actually look up a video so I understand a little bit better. Using Flash? I don't think so. Okay, so that's only music. Can I have gameplay? Skywire gameplay. In 60 FPS. Amazing. Okay, he got a good 2 minutes of menu right there. I like it, I like it. So you're following a path, a predefined path. That is totally doable. Then you're dodging stuff. Yeah, no, that's doable. In 1 hour, it could be doable. Like, once you get the rail mechanic down, you're good. We could try that. Oh, he just lost somebody. That's so sad. Yeah, 1 hour could be doable. Not the priority right now, like I said, but thanks for the stream. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in, Polly. Let's see. Am I streaming tomorrow? Yes, I'm streaming tomorrow and tonight, so we're streaming pretty much all weekend. I'll get banned. Can you tell me why? Yeah, there was in the past there was a N3KFR. That was when I was doing like both tutorial at the same time. I was doing tutorial in English and in French, but the French one got to about 50 subscriber when the English one got to like 130. So I kind of dropped this one. I've made about, what is it, 14 videos before I dropped it. They're all in private, and they're also like, you know, they're all on my channel as well in English. How do you play video in Unity? Since 5.4, it's quite simple, to be honest. You have a video player component, which is this thing right here. Video player. Just add this, drag your clip in, and you're pretty much set. Let me quickly change my YouTube account because I lost my comment section. No, don't go subscribe to N3KFR. The channel is dead. It's pointless. Can you show me how to make a store? We have a couple of store, to be honest, in like the past game, so that's not my main focus right now. Is French your main language? Yes, French is my main language. Alright, this is I'm actually going to bounce right now because I'm a little bit late and I should have been picking up that person that's waiting for me downstairs a long time ago. Hey guys, thank you so much. Like I said, later tonight we're going to be streaming again. We're going to be looking at the Subway Surfer again until we have the first part done, and once that is done, I can go ahead and start record that on my own, try to structure it a little bit better, of course. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you later tonight, guys. Peace.